Happy Turkey Day, everybody. It's Podcast
yeah.
Unlocked, world's #1 Xbox podcast. Apologies to my two Canadian friends right here.
They already had a real cool Thanksgiving last month.
You're so over it already.
I do this thing every year where I'm like, I'm going to host a Canadian Thanksgiving, and that way when Thanksgiving rolls around, somebody has to host me. But instead, we end up just hosting regular Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, and I get real sad.
One of us.
One of us.
Next
I'm
time.
Ryan McCaffrey. That's Mitch Dyer.
Hey.
One of the two Canadians. The other one being Destin Legary.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. And Marty Sleva.
I'm American.
Practically Canadian. You're from Wisconsin.
That's close enough.
That's the United States of Canada at that
I'm
point.
from the 49th least American state.
I like that.
Yeah. Rhode Island. What up?
Suck it.
Yeah.
I'm from New Jersey, the armpit of America.
Yeah,
as
the
it
armpit's
was-
a real
as
important
it used
part
to
of a
be
human
known.
body.
Yeah,
but it's totally not.
That's
Valuable
where,
purpose.
that's where fart noises come
New
from.
Jersey's a beautiful place. Anyway, welcome to the show. It's November 25th, 2015, recording on the just in the front of Thanksgiving. We'll be off playing a bunch of video games, cramming ourselves full of meat.
Yes, we're also recording a day early, so when the biggest news ever
Yep.
happens tomorrow.
Yeah, when they announced the Xbox 7.
Or when there's a real big birth that we would be covering. What birth
Like
would
the
we
Prince?
cover?
Like the little baby Prince?
Like video game Prince.
Like Miyamoto Jr.?
Yeah.
He's 62.
Still got it.
Still got it.
His daughter's married to Dylan Cuthbert.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I
Fun
didn't know
fact.
Fun fact indeed.
Really hope I didn't make that up.
That'd be really funny.
Listen, it's fact now. It's the
You
internet.
made Star Fox, you may have my daughter.
It's episode 222.
Oh, man.
Palindrome. 222.
That's just 3 numbers in a row, guys.
222.
Besmirching the spirit of the palindrome.
It's a good
Literally
show.
a palindrome. Go to hell.
Let's talk about the big birthday for
Yeah.
real over the
Miyamoto Jr.?
weekend.
Oh,
Oh.
for real, for real.
For real,
Miyamoto
for real.
Jr.
It was the Xbox 360's 10th birthday over the weekend. How cool is that? It's been 10 years.
Makes me feel old.
It makes me feel old because I remember literally waiting in line at midnight outside of a circuit city and it was very cold.
You were just a boy.
I was a real dumb boy.
Almost graduated. I was graduated by the time I bought one, I think.
Yeah, I was in high school. I was a real dummy.
So I wanted to we'll spend a little time on this because the 360 it's in the console Hall of Fame, right?
course,
Nobody
yeah.
debates that.
No,
It
it's
is
like the 360 is up
Yeah.
there with me with like Super Nintendo.
Super
for best
NES,
of all
PS2.
time.
PS2,
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
It's
Yeah.
an all-time great for sure.
and then maybe the original
Jaguar.
NES too.
Yeah,
That's it.
Jaguar. Yeah.
You stop it, Destin.
32X.
Aliens vs Predator was
Oh, fair enough.
probably the single best reason to own.
Even
the
a broken
Jaguar.
clock's right twice a day.
It was a great game, actually. But anyway, yeah, so let's go around. Well, first Xbox 360 memories. What do you guys remember about either the first time you played it, first game you played on it, when you bought it? Like, what is the earliest time that the 360 became real to you?
Hexic was the first thing I played on it.
Really?
Me too.
Not
Yeah.
a surprise.
Yeah.
It was
It was
pre-installed on
pre-installed.
all
The
the
game
hard
was
drive versions.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Hexic was great.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I played a lot of that launch lineup actually. I don't remember which one I played first, but I remember that winter I had Call of Duty 2, I had Cameo, I had Perfect Dark, and I had Peter Jackson's King Kong the Movie: The Game.
I love
yeah.
that game.
Not a launch title.
Not a launch
we
title,
keep going
but it came
through
out that Christmas.
Yes,
I'm just
it did. It did. I just want to.
Marty knows.
You've been on this horse before.
This is the hill I'm going to die on. Tomb Raider was delayed, and Peter Jackson's King Kong the Movie: The Game was a launch title.
When did Dead Rising come out then?
The following August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Oh, was
believe.
it? Yeah.
I think it was August 06.
Oh, yeah, because spring was like Ghost Recon and.
yeah.
Ghost Recon was the first graphical.
Didn't Grawl launch with the 360?
No, it was a
No,
spring
it was
game.
supposed
Really?
to. It was supposed
Okay.
to. As was Oblivion. They both ended up delayed until March.
It was wow, look at what this thing
Yeah,
can do.
like I remember of those 4 games I mentioned, the Rare ones were the ones I was disappointed in, just because Rare is one of my favorite developers, and that
Yep.
was sort of at the
Perfect
time.
Dark.
Perfect Dark Zero was such a bummer.
the multiplayer was kind of
it
fun.
was,
Yeah.
It was fine. It was not a great game.
Yeah,
but
it
was
is a
it was
hard game to go
decent
back to.
I'll
Single-
bet I
single
haven't tried.
player.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see, I still think Cameo was underrated. I still think that's an underappreciated game.
I think, I don't think Cameo is bad. I just think sort of if I was holding it to the standard of Banjo Kazooie, which is one of my favorite games
Right,
of all time.
that's fair.
But Call of Duty 2 is phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
Call of Duty 2 was, I think, at the time, it was probably the best looking game I'd ever played.
Well,
Yeah.
what,
Was
the
that, like,
thing
the
that stood
smoke
out,
effects?
that's exactly
Yeah.
the 60 frames a second, and the smoke effects
Yeah.
were like had not been seen before.
Yeah.
The volumetric smoke wasn't possible on the old
So good.
consoles.
Yeah, such a rad campaign. And then, King Kong is this weirdly, it's a very short, small game, but everyone forgets it's Michel Ancel and Ubisoft.
It's Michel Ancel making a Half-Life game.
Yeah.
So
it's a
good.
very like cinematic sort of experience-driven, not even a shooter, a first-person.
First-person action adventure.
Yeah,
thing.
Until
yeah.
you become King Kong and you rip a T-Rex jaw in half.
Yeah, that
so
was real
cool.
cool. That was
Yeah,
real good.
that was good.
Easiest styles you can get.
If our dumb internet would work, I would read you the full list of launch titles because there were actually a lot.
Let's see if we
Yeah.
can do this.
There
From
were,
memory.
I
I'm gonna
believe
start.
there were, if memory serves, 15 or 16
Oh, wow,
games
I
at launch.
definitely
There
can't
were
do
a
that.
lot.
Need for Speed was one of them.
Really?
That was one of the first games I got. Yeah.
Are you sure it wasn't Ridge Racer?
No, it was one of those cross-platform
Ridge
releases.
Racer.
It was Need for Speed and another title.
PGR?
Project Gotham Racing 3.
Need for
I
Speed.
imagine
Which
there
Need
was-
for
was
Speed?
awesome.
So that was one of the games that came out on Xbox and on Xbox 360 at
Right.
the same time.
Yeah, I imagine
So, yeah.
there was a Madden or a NBA Live or something.
Yes.
Because I remember
Both.
playing it on Xbox and I was like, "Whoa, this is a
Now,
big downgrade."
did you guys all play? Since I'm the old man here at the table, did you guys all play the system like when it came out? Did you guys
Very
play
briefly.
it
I was
ahead of
like-
time or?
Oh, I didn't play it ahead of time.
Oh,
no.
I think I might have played Perfect Dark and a Best Buy. I was like, wow, every time I shoot a gun, the bullet casing pops out. A friend of mine bought one. Call of Duty 2 was super impressive. I didn't buy one until I think it was December 2006.
There were 18 launch games.
Here we go. I've got them.
okay.
Yeah, Amp 3.
Gross.
That wasn't a bad game. Stop.
It was okay. Amp 2 was like 10 times better though.
Of course. Call of Duty 2, we talked about. Again, the one, my favorite, we talked about it back when the backwards compatibility
Yeah.
hit a couple weeks ago. Condemned, Criminal Origins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I remember
So good.
that demo. Like I played the game I think the next year, but like
Yeah.
the demo was one of those things. Like all these games you could download free demos of.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the beginning of the end for official Xbox magazine.
No.
We used to have all the demos on our disc every month. Yeah, Condemned's so good. Again, it's backwards compatible. If you can find it, for the love of God, I think you will play it, and I think you will not regret it.
Remember when it came out? It's pretty rough.
Ryan, you were wrong.
What? What are you talking about?
Wait, keep
I mean,
going.
I'm wrong all the time.
Keep going.
Yeah.
No, I'm not wrong. I see what you're saying. I'm not wrong.
Why is it
I
on this
swear
list?
to God. Okay, Wikipedia is wrong.
Don't
Wikipedia's
Wikipedia
wrong.
is
It's a
is-
crowdsourced
it's the
garbage
knowledge-
hole.
It's the high mind mind.
What game?
It says
Chronological order here.
it says the game launched.
What game are you talking about?
King Kong. It says it
okay.
launched with the console.
I don't believe you.
Ryan, you
No, I don't believe
you
you.
use the fact that I drink a lot and forget things against me.
Oh, I so don't believe this.
All right,
Anyway.
we'll keep going down the list of games.
All right.
Return this family.
Was
apart.
there? Now I'm worried about Need for Speed.
FIFA 06.
Yeah, Need for Speed. Most wanted.
Gun, which was one of good game.
Hawkware.
Hawkware, correct, Mitch? A term that I invented.
Is that the thing that was just like an upported or an
Literally,
up-res?
file save as in 720p.
Hawkware.
In 720. Oh my
and
god.
My favorite term.
Hold on. What made it Hawkware wasn't just the the file save as in higher resolution. It was the fact that it was the same thing, but for $10 more. Because remember, games were $50, and starting with 360, games were $60.
Thanks, M.
Oh,
dollar sign.
For a second, I thought it was Hawkware because Neversoft developed Gun.
Well, that's just a coincidence.
That's just yeah.
No, it ended up being what was it like? American Wasteland was the one, right?
Yeah.
the Tony Hawk
let's
game?
See. Hold on. Yep.
Yeah, American
correct.
Wasteland.
Good
Okay.
memory. Yeah, Tony Hawk, the two Activision games, Tony Hawk, American Wasteland, and Gun were the exact same
Yeah.
versions as their PS2, Xbox counterparts
In
in
720.
720p for
Weirdly, I
$10.
think
Gun
the-
wasn't bad.
No, Gun was
pretty
excellent.
good. Yeah.
I think the Xbox version of King Kong ended up being better than the 360 version. Like obviously it was like visually more impressive, but like the lighting was wrong on 360.
Weird.
Or something. Like it was just darker in places in ways that didn't make sense.
The power
When
of
did
one.
Peter Jackson's King Kong the movie, the game, release for Xbox 360?
IGN's review is November 23rd, 2005. Just saying.
Son of a...
I don't see any movies, man.
forget it. All right,
Series
yeah,
looking
I'll
for
just take
movies.
the loss on this one. I don't know why I remember it that way, but I'm old.
Because there were games that came out that in December that didn't launch, right?
I feel like there was
Dead or
there's
Alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to ask, like, was there a week 2 of Xbox 360
So
games or
anyway,
anything?
continuing, so we Cameo. We talked about Madden 06, NBA 2K 06, NBA Live 06.
All the sports games.
Need for Speed Most Wanted, as Destin pointed out.
Oh.
NHL 2K6, back when 2K Games was making hockey games. Perfect Dark Zero, Mitch touched on. Peter Jackson, which I'm wrong about. PGR 3, which is the other one of the
Stand
other
out.
just standout
That was-
launch
that
titles.
was
So
gorgeous.
good.
Rip.
Oh my goodness.
Sad.
Quake 4.
I totally forgot.
Fun fact, bundled with a 360 port of Quake 2.
Really?
Yeah, you could play. It was just a straight port. You
Did
had
it have online?
That I don't remember.
It's insane that they never released that as like XBLA.
Right.
Yeah, it
Like,
was
I
just
would've-
a
for like $10, I would have bought Quake 2 probably.
It was
Yeah.
probably before they, like, XBLA was a thing, obviously, because
From day
the
one,
marketplace
yeah.
existed.
Yeah, but it was what
in
like the 30 or the super,
super
cap.
small limit, but
yes,
Yeah.
25.
I mean, I
yeah.
don't imagine Quake 2 was more than that.
Yeah, I guess.
That I don't recall. But anyway, yeah, Quake 4, which was done by Raven, Ridge Racer 6, Tetris. Oh, that's Europe. Tiger Woods 06, and Tony Hawk. So again, a lot of game. What I always say about the 360 launch lineup, there was no killer app.
No.
But there was not really very many duds either.
Yeah.
There were a lot of good games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
at
on
launch.
average, I'd probably score that launch higher
That's like
than most.
that's like a B or B plus kind
yeah.
of launch. You
Might
know,
be better than the last couple consoles that have launched.
yeah, better than probably Xbox One or PS4's
Certainly,
launch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Certainly better than Wii U. R.I.P. Nintendo Sports or Nintendo Land.
So yeah, quick story. The first time I played an Xbox One game, it was back.
You mean 360 or one?
Sorry, thank you. 360 game.
Damn it, brain.
The earliest dev kit versions of the 360 were souped up Macintosh G5s. You guys remember this?
Nice.
That's crazy.
I never saw one.
Yeah.
right.
So at E3 that year, 2005, I somehow had, I think I had an exhibitor badge or something, so I could get on the floor early. And over at the 2K booth, they had some kiosks there, and whatever morning before the show started, I was there. There was they just had Top Spin 2 running.
Yeah.
And there was a 360 controller sitting there, which again at the time that's like holy crap.
Yeah.
You just a 360 controller was a new thing. Everything about it was new. Came up, played for a couple minutes, and then walked away because I didn't want to get yelled at. But yeah, just randomly Top
love
Spin
that.
2 on an alpha kit was the first 360 game I played.
I ever tell you guys a story about how I got my 360? I may have on the show
I don't know,
before.
now's as good a time as
Break
any.
and enter.
Okay, so I used to work at UPS. I was in management.
You
there.
stole
And-
someone's. I like where this is going.
And there was a lady there that would collect all the plastic and make sure it got recycled. And I was like, "Hey, will you save the bottle caps? Because Mountain Dew was doing this promotion,
think you
and
have
you would
told this.
redeem the codes on
Yeah.
the bottle caps." So she showed up one day and was like, "Here's 300 bottle caps."
Wow.
So I went and manually redeemed them all on the Mountain Dew website, and I figured out the best time to enter to figure out your ratio chance to win versus not winning.
This
it
is
was
the
like,
most destined thing I ever.
I got to give the quick backstory of
Yeah.
they were giving away like what was it a
an
360
Xbox an
every hour or something?
Yeah, every hour. So every hour you could put X amount of bottle caps toward your chance to win.
Yeah.
So I was like, only 40 people are entering at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to stay up and I'm going to put all 300 on there. I won.
Nice.
That is so
Yeah.
amazing.
That's amazing.
I
love
love that.
So I won the Xbox, and they were like, "What game do you want at launch?" And I was like, "Need for Speed." And I got Cameo because Need for Speed was delayed. Like, but it was delayed because I got the console a week early.
Oh,
So I had the console a week before anybody else did at retail.
that's cool.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I was playing Cameo and Hexic, and then later they shipped me Need for Speed.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That
Love
is
that.
cool.
I ended up waiting until 2006, and it was Gears of War that, like, most people broke me. Like, I saw that game, was like, what the hell is this? How? Okay, I'm in. I like the day after Christmas, Boxing Day in Canada, went shopping. Everything was on sale. Bought a 360, got Gears, and then just the deal that GameStop was running at the time was it was basically like, here's every Ubisoft game. So I think I got Rainbow Six Vegas, which I was like, okay,
That didn't come out
whatever.
until 2007.
Maybe I got it like really
I
early
think.
2007.
Unless my memory is wrong again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Because I got Splinter Cell Double Agent and Graw,
Yeah.
both
that
of which I
sounds-
played and was like, these games are not for me. And then
I like Double Agent. I mean,
They're both
it's
great
clunky,
games.
it was
but
okay.
yeah.
Like I
It's
played the
you
first,
that's wrong.
I played the first few hours of Double Agent. Was like, this is cool, but like this series has just never been for me.
There's a big twist.
Yeah. Then Conviction was the one that hooked me years later. But it was
Yeah.
like those games, and then like I just tried to play everything I could. So I played everything from like Lost Planet and Crackdown to Turning Point, Fall of Liberty, which is among the worst games I have
Oh.
ever played.
But with
Crackdown 1 was so fun.
the crying shame about Turning Point Fall of Liberty was that the premise was
so
so
It
good.
was so good.
So good that the Nazis won the war and had invaded America.
Now we just watch Man in the High Castle.
Or not, or had maybe they hadn't
They won the war.
but
They
they
just
were.
occupied it.
Yeah.
America was theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and I
rescue
didn't.
the Constitution from the White
When
House.
did you guys get HGTVs? Because I didn't get one until I moved out here, so it was like late summer 2008.
Yeah, mine was probably about the same time. That
Yeah.
completely
See-
changed Rainbow Six for me. I was like, this is what this game looks like? Good lord. I've been playing it all wrong.
So I got one of the old, like, big projection TVs,
wow.
one of the huge ones. I found one used for like $400.
Yeah.
So I bought it, and like I had the old surround sound system that you buy at like Walmart with the
God.
speakers, and I would run the wires, so I had surround sound
Yeah.
and
So good.
everything.
Yeah, I knew it was coming, and I was working in the field or at OXM already, and I had no wife, kid, or dog, so not a lot of overhead. So I spent like $3,000 on one of the Samsung DLP, which at
Yep.
the time
Oh,
was
yeah.
like
That was
kind of a
the-
great all
that was the
around
dream.
And I think it was a 46 inch or something, and it was So I was ready, and it was
right
it
from the
was
get-go.
it was glorious.
No, because I
It was so
remember,
good.
Dead Rising was the first game where it was just like, oh man, I
Oh,
can't
the
read,
text.
I can't read
Yeah,
anything
that was
in this game.
notoriously you could not read the text on
Yeah.
a standard definition TV. But yeah, so Mitch, you mentioned Gears of War being
Yeah.
your kind of oh my god moment. For me, it was at CES when they showed and then dropped the. This is back when Microsoft used to do stuff at CES. They showed off on stage Fight Night Round 3.
Oh,
Slow
that-
motion
and then they
punch.
dropped
Yeah.
the demo at the same time.
Yeah.
And we were I remember just being like, what? Because I didn't
Yeah.
even like boxing.
Sure.
And then it turned out that's one of the only cases where the graphics were so amazing
You bought
I
it?
had to play.
Yeah.
And then I
I
ended up
bought
loving
that
the
game.
game. I love the game, and I love the
Fight Night
series now.
was amazing.
I had the demo, and I remember I would impress girls in college who were over at parties. I was like, "You want to see a real good-looking boxing game?" I'm looking back, and I'm like, "That's not the best game, Marty."
Did you get numbers?
So many
Digits?
numbers. So
Yeah.
many numbers.
So many
Watch
digits.
me knock this man's teeth out
So
and
many fake numbers.
increase the size of his gaping wound.
Girls in Wisconsin are weird, Mitch.
Yeah, man.
And then I remember I went out to, because this is the early magazine days and it's long lead times. I went to Bethesda to review Oblivion, and I spent. This is we all knew it was a huge game. Morrowind. Everybody knew what was up. I spent 4 days there. I stayed at a hotel literally next door, so I just wake up, roll out of bed, and walk next door. 11-hour days, doing nothing, stopping only to go to the bathroom or eat lunch.
Yeah.
And then 44 hours in 4 days, which was actually awesome because I was kind of like living in Cyrodiil. Like I
Yeah.
was just in that
kinda great.
world, and it was great. I wish I could do that now with like Witcher 3 or
Yeah.
for Skyrim at the time, or Fallout 4 for that matter.
You can join our guides team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see how much you want to wish that again.
talk to Miranda. See how she's enjoying
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Well, if all I
For
have
the
to do
fourth
is
week.
write a review, don't have to make a video,
Yeah.
don't have to make a podcast, don't,
Don't have to know every
Those days are
secret.
gone.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that was good. Now, who you guys got to remember? So wait, what you all had your console? Was your
Late
launch or
06,
shortly after?
about a
Within
year
the first
after.
year. Let's walk back to the fall of 2007. One of the greatest
Good lord.
years, and just great. Forget about even the whole year, because there are other things that year too.
That's
that you
one
were-
of those, like, is it the best year of all time for games?
It's up there, but let's just concentrate right down to. We're in the holidays now. The fall season of 2007.
That was like Rock Band, Mass Effect. This is off the top of my head. I'm not looking at the thing. Rock Band, Mass Effect, and there's another big one. I'm forgetting.
There's a couple big ones.
BioShock,
Oh, yeah.
Halo 3,
Yeah.
Call of
Modern
Duty
Warfare.
4, Modern Warfare.
So I like how I always
Dude.
say the reason I haven't played
Dude,
Mass Effect
those
is
are all
because I was out of
10s.
gaming
Yeah.
then. I've totally played BioShock and Rock Band and Halo and Call of Duty this
Yeah.
fall, so I don't have an excuse there.
Those games are all I don't think we literally gave them all 10s at OXM, but I think the lowest score, let's see.
Yeah, Mass Effect
BioShock was a
was-
10.
They're all really.
Those are all like game of the
good.
I mean,
generation.
yeah, those they're
contenders.
all
Yeah.
9.5s or up.
Yeah, Rock Band I think ended up being a 9.5.
That's
Rock
right.
Band
So
with
we
the
gave it Game of the
drums,
Year
that
anyway.
was so
Yes.
cool at the time. Like the first people to do drums.
Yeah.
with that,
2007
that was fun.
Was that also Mirror's Edge?
No, I checked. It was 2008.
Okay.
I did double check that
Okay.
one. But man, I mean, and you look at so 2007 was the second full year and third Christmas for the system.
So it's like
that
this year.
that should be now. Like
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that it's you really can make the comparison because now it's looking like next year
Well-
could be the 2007 of this generation, where
Yeah.
where
Well, hey.
Microsoft's got
Hold on.
Crackdown and Quantum Break
Okay.
and Sea of Thieves and Gears 4 and Halo Wars 2 and Cuphead and Inside,
yeah.
all these things lined up to say nothing of third-party
Yeah.
awesome games. Yeah, whereas this year we've had a pretty good year and a pretty good holiday, but man, it doesn't compare at all
Yeah.
to the equivalent year
Yeah.
for 360, which is fall of 2007.
Yeah.
We have some good stuff this year. We got Fallout.
I like how you're not. You
Raider.
don't say Destiny
I was
anymore.
gonna
You say
say,
Fallout.
You're on a Destiny podcast.
No,
Yeah.
this was a good. Yeah, and I mean,
That
this
came out in
year, this year
September.
was 100% better than the last 2 years.
But
yeah.
but tell me what you guys remember about those games from 2007.
I remember playing them all at
Destin,
once.
Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Take me back to because you love that series so much. What did the first game do to you when you first played it?
So that's when I was just doing reviews for myself, not really for anybody. I
Yeah.
was just kind of learning how to capture video and everything. So I played a ton of Mass Effect, and then I stopped like right before the tower scene. And it wasn't until like a year later that I actually finished that game, and it became one of my favorites because my friends were like, "Wait, you never finished Mass Effect? Go finish it! Are you crazy?" So
You're
I'm
10
like, "All
minutes
right."
from the most crazy, amazing boss sequence of
If
all time.
only games, God, that endings. Games have been having trouble with endings lately.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 1 did not have a problem
No,
with the end.
it did not.
So I hopped back in all this time later, and I finished it, and I'm like, "This is one of the best experiences I've ever had in
Yeah.
gaming. I can't believe I waited this
Yeah.
long to finish it." And also like Rock Band, I was talking about a little bit before. Really, really enjoyed that. Halo 3 was when I started making videos and entering them into contests, which is how my whole career started. So yeah, that was a crazy year for me.
Silence on the left side of the room.
Marty, how do you feel about Mass
no,
Effect?
I was looking up things. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't play. I have nothing to say about Mass Effect. I mean, the two on this list that really stand out to me were Rock Band. I remember getting that at launch, and that was I lived with a couple of my best friends, and we would have parties every weekend, and that was the thing.
That sounds awesome.
It was no longer did I have to impress girls with Fight Night
Night.
3 demo.
You could show them Call of Duty 4 where dudes get nuked.
No, it was Rock Band. Yeah,
Look,
I mean, I
look at me
remember.
play this plastic guitar.
But I remember Rock Band, but it
Ladies.
was also everyone hated drums, so it was like, who's the odd one out who has to play drums? I think maybe we hated them just because we were awful at it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That and then BioShock it's probably the first game of that generation that entered that rarefied
Oh
atmosphere
man,
for me.
the mid game would you kindly twist?
Totally like having that unspoiled. Like the first time going to like Neptune's Bounty or Fort Frolic, like that game still like Rapture is still probably as a setting. Rapture and BioShock 1 is among my favorite in video games ever.
Fair to
and is
say.
like up there with like any setting of a movie or of a book.
Absolutely.
I remember when BioShock came out, everybody's like, "The water! Look at the water effects!" And
Water
like
was really good.
everybody really focused in on that. And
Yeah.
the other stuff kind of, came in.
Yeah,
to
because
the
I'd never
conversation.
played. I wasn't a PC gamer, so I never played like Looking Glass stuff. Never played System Shock, and I never played that kind of stuff. So
It is the spiritual successor to System Shock 2, which is
yeah, I went and
Astounding.
Later, I ended up playing it.
It's a hard game to go back to.
Yep.
probably.
Not because it's bad, it's just like impossible to navigate, and the UI and the controls are super weird.
Yeah, it's
just a
on. I
weird
think
game.
GOG, isn't it? It's like people have
I think it's
sort
on
of
Steam now too.
gotten it to work, play
Yep.
nice with modern.
Yeah, it's just
modern
out there
machines.
now. Finally.
Yeah, Call of Duty 4. I remember I actually reviewed that at Infinity Ward, and that was one of the easiest 10s I've ever given in my life. It's just like that. The multiplayer was
4.
off the charts.
Yeah.
and then that campaign, just
Still up there as one
Hall
of
of
the
Fame
best. Yeah.
campaign.
That's the infamous ghillie suit.
Ghillies
They're
all
called
ghillied
ghillied
up,
up.
Yeah.
and we're one of your guys. you crawl out of the helicopter after your chopper goes down in the nuke blast, crawl out and die.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, I'm okay. Oh,
That
What?
first mission on the sub where
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going through and you're like, all right, this is cool. Like, this is really pretty. And I'm sneaking up on guys. I'm killing guys who are like unaware. Cool. I'm shooting some guys. This is cool. Oh, the sub or the boat is sinking and the thing is like tilting
Yep.
and the water's coming in and you have to escape. And you're like, I think I'm going to throw up. This is incredible.
And you have to remember that at that point in time, modern military shooting was the novel new cool thing.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't every game ever was.
It was also
modern
so
military.
original. They just did so much cool
It was
stuff. in the
World War
campaign.
II for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anybody have any Red Ring of Deaths at the table?
Never had one. I had a weird
I literally-
disk drive issue, but
I still have
never
my
had one.
launch. It works fine.
Are you serious?
Nice.
Yeah, I still have it
Put
at my
that
apartment.
thing in a vacuum sealed container.
Belongs in a museum.
I had 2
Love
red
to see
rings,
them. 2?
and eventually I got an elite and sold my third console, my third white one. Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up going through a handful at OXM because we had so many of them around, but not really as many as you might think. Like it wasn't. It
Yeah.
was kind of like we were kind of looking at it going, oh wow, this is happening, but yeah, ours are
not happening to
hanging.
us.
Yeah, ours are
Yeah.
hanging in there pretty well. Could you imagine if Red Ring of Death had happened in the social media age?
Oh
How
my
it would have been
God.
10 times worse.
Yeah.
10 times worse.
Yeah.
Microsoft
Absolutely.
handled it really well.
did.
They're just like, we'll fix it for you.
Well, Peter Moore
Yeah.
told the story on
Yeah.
back on Unlock 201 of how they were like, we got to fix this, and so they took it to Ballmer and said it's going to cost 1.1 billion, and Ballmer went, okay, do it.
Yeah.
It was like, we got to, otherwise our product's dead. It's
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it really is. You're right. It's a testament to how well they handled it in the fact that practically nobody really remembers it anymore. Like it's such a
like a
distant
trivia
memory.
fact.
I think people remember it, but like
But it's
people
not-
are.
it's
But
not
it's
a
so
thing,
it's
you know,
it's
yeah.
that nobody. It's all forgiven. It's all
You don't think about it when you go to buy an
No.
Xbox One.
That's
No.
true. Yeah.
which and they were, even though the Xbox One is physically bigger than the PS4 is, they've been right in the sense that they don't fail. Xbox Ones we're 2 years in, because by the way, the Xbox One shares the birthday. and
Wait
it's
a minute.
2 years old.
What about all those like the people that are in the early access program? We've had a few brick consoles, but it's nowhere near to the scale of Red Ring. It's very like focused.
Yeah, but those aren't hardware issues, correct? Because I haven't
Software
been
that's
following
causing
it.
the conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah,
correct?
I haven't been following that, but
Me either.
Yeah, I've had two work PS4s break and no Xbox Ones.
Yeah,
I can't think of a single Xbox One in our office or even anyone I know that's had a hardware failure.
The
There was,
only
like,
reason
the-
I bring that up is because people keep tweeting at me my Xbox bricked.
That sucks.
So
That's
yeah,
unfortunate.
because of that software update.
Yeah, keep raising your voice to Microsoft then.
Definitely.
to
Yeah.
Xbox support.
It worked
and
last time.
Phil Spencer and yeah. Who remembers faceplates? Huh?
Oh, my
Faceplates?
God.
How many did you have? 17?
None. Well, I guess I had one. I had the one that came with the console.
The white one.
Old whitey.
I threw that one out. I ended up having this like a cool Canadian flag one that I got.
Talk for
free.
a second. I'm gonna go get my like.
Oh, you're
special
going.
one.
He's gonna go show it off. It is a fancy
Unless-
boy faceplate.
It's not over there.
No.
What was your?
right back.
You had a Canadian faceplate?
Yeah, it was just like it was like just a maple leaf flag style thing.
Did
It
you
was
ever get
nothing
into that?
fancy, but it.
So I tried a few different ones. They had like a launch set that you could get. There was like a blue one with sort of like
This is
There
stupid
was one
different
different
hardwood
one. There was one that was
one.
like hardwood. Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
problem is
right.
like none of them ever actually like fit the aesthetic of the console, which was this like high tech, sleek,
White.
white, futuristic, like.
Yeah.
It looked like something out of Mass Effect,
Yeah.
and still kind of does. It's like a very cool looking machine. That when you throw like a bunch of gaudy trash on the front of it, it's
Yeah.
like, what is
Yeah,
this
why
cartoon
is
monster
anyone doing
machine?
Oh, Ryan still
Well,
has
and
it.
plus, like so quickly
those,
they
yeah.
gave up on it because they just, once the Elite came out and once they like redesigned the console, it's like, well, we
They
don't
were
have these
worthless,
anymore.
yeah. And they totally acknowledged that. Oh yeah, we probably won't do anything with that ever.
I don't know if this thing can be opened easily.
Microsoft's always done an interesting job of sort of
I don't wanna-
admitting their mistakes.
You don't want
You
to
don't wanna
taint
break
it. It
Not
also
really.
belongs in a museum.
What is it?
All right,
Can
I'm
we
just
just
gonna
describe
bring it
it?
over to the camera.
Disaster.
Yeah.
So this is like a limited edition launch thing, right?
Yeah. How
Ryan's
did
holding-
you get these? Oh, it shows up on camera.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast for our audio version only.
Ryan,
Sorry.
tell us a bit about it.
Jumping back on the
Yeah.
mic.
This was very
So
early.
this
thing.
was produced and handed out at E3 2005 before the console came out. So I
cool.
had this faceplate before I had the console.
That's how you got so hyped for the console.
And what I like about this, there's actually one specific thing I love about it that none of the retail faceplates ever had: the Chrome power button.
Oh yeah.
And what actually was cool about it, it had like kind of a nice
yeah.
travel to it. Like you'd press it because remember the
it was like weird and sticky.
yeah, exactly.
It didn't really have
and
it didn't
this-
feel like a trigger or anything.
And this does, and there's just, and I had this on my 360 for years. Like I had one of the, like so I somewhere I have one that's out of the box. I wish,
yeah.
but I don't know where. But yeah, this one there were 5,000 of them. This is number 4,910. The Face of the Future, a numbered edition of 5,000, created for E3, May 16th, 2005.
That was awesome.
But
pretty
yeah,
cool.
this was my favorite faceplate. Yeah, all the other ones though, they were just so overpriced, and then nobody wanted them.
Yeah. And then the system got redesigned and it was like, oh, these are useless now.
Yeah,
before.
well, they'd given up on faceplates long before then.
Yeah.
Blade's dashboard. Everybody still likes to bring that up
I saw
from time
Major
to
Nelson
time.
tweet like a GIF of somebody flipping through the dashboard, and I miss it. It's obviously just horrendous now and doesn't work. But
Oh yeah, couldn't accommodate all the stuff you have.
no, and at the time it was just so cool and different and
Quick.
Yeah, like the idea of
Yeah,
just like
smooth.
flipping between tabs like pages.
You
got to
remember
very
that
ergonomic.
To that point, original Xbox, PS2, Dreamcast, whatever. There
was no
nothing,
dashboard.
There was nothing that had been seen like that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, even like the original Xbox had a sort of homepagey
It had
dashboard
a,
if
it
you
had
wanted
a,
like
a
music.
proto
You could
dash.
check your
Yeah.
blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
50 grand, it's still kicking.
I can't remember what the original one looked like. I always remember version 2. Because then after that, it went to all the squares and they changed it.
Oh, you
pretty
had you had your
dramatically.
marketplace screen, your media screen, your game screen.
I can't remember the launch one though. It was like big blades, and then the version 2 was like smaller, like within the screen.
No, they got rid of the blades pretty quick.
Yeah. All right.
Blades didn't
blades.
last too long for the.
I want to
new-
see. We did a video about the evolution, didn't we?
It would have
There's
been
a
you.
video somewhere.
You probably made it.
Yeah. We should look that up.
And then there was, of course, the Kinect and the Cirque du Soleil event, which I'm not going to tell that story again because I want to end this on a high note. But man, what a great console! Favorite game for 360 now that it's pretty well all said and done.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Strong call.
Good
Let's
call.
say Bioshock, Red Dead, or Braid.
Also strong
Portal's
calls.
also in
Oh, yeah,
there.
Portal.
Mass Effect.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
one I left
Rock
off.
Band.
We even talked about this, Mitch, and I
Or-
totally
Orange
didn't write
Box.
it down.
Yeah.
2007.
Was it Orange Box?
Orange Box was fall of
Oh, wow.
2007.
Team Fortress
so
2, Half-Life 2,
add
Episode
that
2, and Portal.
to the Orange Box. That's Bioshock, Rock Band, Mass Effect, Halo 3, Call of Duty 4, Orange Box. 6 generation-defining games in the same span of 3-4 months.
Yeah.
What a good year.
Absurd.
Yeah, it's kooky.
I think
Good
Mass Effect
console.
was
The ball's
my
in your
favorite
court
game for like
this
so long.
generation.
The first one.
Still
yeah.
my favorite one in the whole series.
Yeah. Oh, in the series. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking like favorite game ever. Mass Effect is still on my top 5, I think. Like
be
Mass
on-
Effect, Fallout 3, Uncharted 2. Those are 3 of them. Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
some good
probably
stuff
have
in
to
there.
go. I would probably have to go with either Mass Effect 1 or Rock Band as my favorite game on 360.
Yeah.
They were those two. Either of those were just insane.
Both phenomenal.
Although soft spot in my heart, 1 versus 100.
Oh, that was
Man.
fun. I would
R.I.P.
like set aside time to play that.
An actual once-in-a-lifetime game.
appointment gaming. It was
Yeah.
by design. Appointment
get home by
gaming.
7.
Had to
Yeah.
get there. You'd get on with your friends.
Yep.
I
I still remember like sitting in chat with you and Dan and Paul.
Yes.
Like we'd all just hang out and
Yeah, hung out.
BS and then like get some questions right, get some
Did
questions
you
wrong.
ever make the mob?
No.
I got in the mob once and I won $1.
Nice.
Because there were real money, there were real Microsoft prizes. Like actual money Microsoft prizes you could win.
I think I got in the mob twice, but I lost both.
Oh,
like I didn't get
Destin.
anything. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah,
That
that's,
sucks.
That's one that that's actually probably my proudest achievements on my profile, even though
got them all?
I got all 12. All 12, and they're
Dang.
physically impossible to ever get again.
Yeah.
So
What a brilliant idea. Like a live video game.
it really was. Clearly they had a sponsor because they were all Sprint.
Yes.
Remember
yeah.
the Sprint Theater or whatever, that the virtual place
Yeah.
where the game show took place in. But
Yeah, there was actually an announcer. Like somebody came.
He
Yeah,
recorded
and
and they did it live.
we-
Yeah.
Dan Emmerich for OXM did a feature where he went to Seattle on one of the nights that they were running the
And
show.
it was like the night that it all went terribly wrong.
Yes, it was.
God, I love that feature. Oh, that's so sad because I think that archive is gone. Like, I, don't
I think
you
it
can read
is.
that
You know
online.
what? I can try to dig it out of my archive.
It's got to be somewhere. Somebody must have scanned it, or it's got to be
Yeah, I
replicated, stolen
think
somewhere.
Future, since they technically still exist, would probably sue me if I tried to put it online. But
Probably.
I'm sure we can find a way to
Yeah.
disseminate that because that was a great piece.
Such a good feature.
Oh, Xbox 360, we loved you. You were a great system. And Xbox One, you're 2 years old now.
Yeah.
You're on your way to
Yeah,
becoming.
it's been a good couple of years. I still don't know that I've had that Gears of War moment where I'm like, oh, this changes everything.
I agree with that.
I'm not ready to refer to 360 in past tense yet.
Oh,
like
I am.
it's still on my shelf.
No, that console, I look at it, it is dead to me.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
I can play Gears Judgment on my Xbox One now. Goodbye.
Yeah. I can't do it yet.
I do think 2016 that's when that switch is going to flip for you, Mitch, because I look at it that way. All those games I mentioned earlier, like Sunset was great last
Yep.
year.
Oh, yeah.
And Tomb Raider's great this year. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's going to be right
Fallout,
in the mix.
Metal Gear, there have been amazing games.
Started Tomb Raider, really liking it.
Game's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. And then I just feel like Cuphead could be the next Limbo, potentially, from everything we've seen of it. Inside could actually really be the next Limbo because it's made by
Everybody
the
makes
same
Limbo
people.
sense. Yeah.
Dino added me on LinkedIn this week, and I'm like, what's going on? Something's going on,
Interesting.
maybe.
And then, Sea of Thieves is, again, still my favorite game from E3. I just feel like that game could be something special if it's this open sea, if it's a rare open world shared experience pirate adventure.
That's the one I am most looking forward to. Sorry, I always glance over at
I
the...
know, I was just making sure.
I always look to make sure the MacBook hasn't died, and I always just vanish.
You're
and
like looking
goodbye,
through
I'm going
me.
on a journey, and I just freak out,
Going
Ryan. Sea of Thieves is the one from E3 this year. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know I wanted this, but this is the game that I want.
I'm in the same boat. So,
Pirate Destiny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Quantum Break, too. Those guys have never made a bad game. They've never even made a good game. They make great games at Remedy. So
Maybe think of like Wind Waker, but with multiplayer. Sort of. Like riding around on the open seas, exploring, finding new things.
I just care about finding treasure before anybody else.
Yeah.
first person, open world, super colorful co-op pirating. Yes.
No Man's Sky is
I'll
coming on
have that.
Xbox, right?
Probably
Not that
Probably,
not yet.
but nothing has officially been
Someday?
I think it'll happen.
Nah. In any case, just great stuff. What a great console. 10 years, man.
Thanks, Xbox.
What else? Got your MST3K Turkey Days coming up. Turkey Day
Woo!
Marathon.
It's coming back.
Your footballs, sports balls.
Excited that it's coming back?
Football?
Yeah.
True Sense.
Oh, the Kickstarter? Yeah. I mean, I'm a little mixed in that, I want the same crew. I don't want new actors, new
Yeah.
voices, and new Joels.
Would you
But-
rather it not come back? Would you rather it not even come back?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I'm not saying, I don't want to disparage it that much.
Yeah.
But we got a lot of Mystery Science Theater over the years.
Sure.
But no, I guess it'll be interesting to see what.
It is such a specific thing that
Yes.
for it to shake up at all is very weird.
Yeah. So we shall see. And then finally, just want to remind everybody, if you happen to be catching the podcast, well, really any time this week, be sure to visit IGN we have actually an entire team whose whole job is to find all of the Black Friday deals and keep them updated all in one place on IGN. It'll be right on the front page. You won't be
Yeah.
able to miss it. So if you're planning on buying any video games or game-related stuff over Black Friday weekend, please make sure to visit IGN and check out our deals page.
Yeah. And remember that it's 2015, so you can just buy things on Amazon. You don't even have to leave your house.
We
You know,
have-
you don't
and
have to
we
go to Walmart
And we have
ever
deals for
again.
that, too.
Yeah, tons of deals.
It's all there.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a breather, come right back. Just a couple of worthy news stories, as you might expect here
Slow
in
week.
the holiday week. So we'll be back right after this. All right, just a couple quick news stories. We mentioned BioShock
Biological shot.
Heard of that game?
earlier in the show. We were talking about our favorite 360 things ever. BioShock will return, says
According to
Take-Two boss man.
Strauss Zelnick. He sounds like the raddest Die Hard villain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, Mr. McClane.
I want to die. I went to Goldfinger there for
Yeah,
some
I was
reason.
like,
Sorry about
that's
that.
a different franchise.
Yeah, but he called BioShock, quote, unquestionably a permanent franchise. Without question. Forever. Franchise.
But what about
French fries?
Oh, unquestionably.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a surprise to me.
No, we
obviously,
talked about it before.
What
so.
happened? What was it? Early last year with Irrational, early 2014, right?
Time is.
I feel
really
like it
hard.
was
might have been sooner.
Longer.
Longer.
While
That's
ago
the word.
now.
2013 is what I thought.
Well, early 2014 was like almost 2 years
When
ago.
did it launch?
Infinite shipped in March 2013, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because the DLC was coming out.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
So you're right. Early 2014.
Yeah.
then.
It would have
But,
been. This is the weird thing. Like I was playing Rust with Sean, and I did a letter series about Rust with Sean. I think in December or January, and then immediately after that, he was gone because Irrational was gone. So I think it was late 2013.
It was probably your letters that did it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
Mitch.
But yeah, I have no doubt that very soon after this happened, that 2K found or started shopping around the idea to whether it's I don't know if it's going to be internal studios because 2K Marin, who did BioShock 2, doesn't exist anymore. They're
Right.
Hangar.
Hangar 18.
I keep wanting to say
Megadeth.
Hangar 13 or Hangar 1. Hangar 1 is vodka.
No, it's Hangar 13.
Hangar
you're right.
13. They're
Yeah.
working on Mafia.
Mafia.
Yes.
And that's like a bunch of X1313 devs. Like those are not inexperienced guys. They know
No,
what
of
they're
course.
doing.
Yeah.
13
So, well, that brings
Mafia
the
looks
question.
cool.
Yeah.
What of who they could actually get, whether it's an own studio or an independent that they could contract. Who do you want to see take on the BioShock mantle? Who do you want to Azrael it for Bruce Wayne?
Turtle Rock.
That was a Nightfall
That was a
reference.
deep cut right
Yeah.
there.
You want Turtle Rock?
I don't know. It'd be a very different game.
Yeah.
Like Arcane? Like I
Owned by ZeniMax. Try
Yeah.
again.
Well, you said Pie in the Sky.
I said realistic. All right, give me either one. Whatever. Who should make this game?
BioWare.
Gearbox.
Owned by EA.
Gearbox.
Gearbox is on the
Gearbox
table.
would be cool.
Ah.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's a strong pick.
Like I don't know. They haven't done anything like that serious.
Yeah, they're also
or
like
that story driven,
Yeah,
right?
that's my
I mean,
thing. Is
I
like
mean,
Gearbox. I don't
Claptrap
think of
shows
a
up.
story. I think
But,
of them
I mean,
as
Borderlands
world builder.
2, yeah.
Worlds though, like they
Yeah.
do worlds pretty good, which is great because Bioshock needs that. But I don't see Gearbox as like the character story studio.
Yeah.
Even with
Firaxis?
Brothers in Arms, which
and
I
didn't
like.
Anthony Birch leave? Their
Yes.
sort of
Yeah.
ace
He's a-
writer
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Not to disparage anyone that's there,
No,
but
of course.
Firaxis?
No
They've never
strategy.
done- Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe they could.
Who
do
even
it.
like makes cool first person
I'm gonna
stuff? anymore
throw you
that's-
my nutty choice.
Okay.
Nutty
That
Professor.
would never happen.
Eddie Murphy.
Probably because if I know them at all, they'd say no. Campo Santo.
Oh God.
Guys, Firewatch, headed by Sean Vanneman, creator, director of The Walking
Walking
Dead
Dead.
season 1 for Telltale.
Yeah.
They're making a first-person story game.
They do story. They
Yeah.
do. they're
Maybe
making a cool
Firewatch
first-person
is their
thing.
test for the next.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, consider what if 2K comes to Sean Vanneman and his crew and says, "We will give you lots of money."
My name is Strauss.
I don't
I'm
think that's
going
how it
with
sounds.
Marty's.
Oh, yeah.
I love Bioshock, but Firewatch is to me, and execution we'll see, but like that game is infinitely more interesting to me than any.
Nah,
Infinite.
infinitely.
Damn it!
They're perfect.
You got stuck in a Minerva's den. Oh yeah, just give it to Fulbright. Those guys already made my favorite Bioshock thing.
I was gonna say give it to Fulbright, but
Well, there you
Steve
go.
would never do that.
They already made
Steve
Minerva's
would-
Den, which is
yeah.
my favorite Bioshock thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, let them just do it again. I don't know.
I can't even think of like an independent good developer that fits.
I like Ryan has a note here. I don't want to steal it from him. I would steal it.
You
from
could steal it. I said my.
But this is a cheat code,
I
too.
said my
him.
Campo
Yeah, and
Santo.
you yelled at me for Arcade.
Owned by the
you
same
have
company.
you have Machine
I
Games.
know
Same
that's why.
company.
Whatever.
Machine Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what they did with Wolfenstein was incredible. Like,
Definitely.
that is as close to sort of that Bioshock vibe in terms of marrying like a really smart cinematic story with
Yeah.
solid, if not fantastic gunplay.
I
Which
un-
is, I think what Bioshock is.
I honestly think they're just going to build a new team, like just a totally new team
Yeah.
to take Bioshock.
Where?
It's that big of a
That's
name.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's certainly possible. The
Hangar
question is-
14.
next door.
You know,
Hangar
yeah.
14.
There's space there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a question of where do you build? Where do you
Somewhere cheap.
look for a pool of talent that's capable
give
of
it to
that?
They have a lot of
Just give it to
space.
Kojima.
They do have a lot of space in that hangar that's not utilized. I mean,
Hideo
they can make the
Kojima's
space.
BioShock.
Yeah.
2K hires Kojima to take over BioShock.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously giant shoes to fill, but I feel like whatever team gets it just needs to sort of make it their own and not try to do
Yeah.
let's get the boy and the girl
What
and
would
the
Ken
lighthouse.
Levine do?
Take 8 years.
No, I'm saying that's what they shouldn't do.
Oh
is
yeah,
think
that's
what
totally
would Ken
what they
Levine
should
do?
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking the other day about like I like the idea of like it taking place in like 70s or 80s New York and
Like
it
what they
being-
hinted at in Infinite.
Yeah, totally. And it being like a city that exists within the city almost like there's like a secret city inside of the regular city. I don't know. I just vomited.
Parallel universes, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, somebody's going to make it. We know that much.
Yeah, and my theory is that this is one of those games that because Infinite, the preview cycle was so long from announced to or from reveal to
Yeah.
it actually coming out, that I think that this is a game rife for the sort of the Fallout treatment of here it is, it's out in 4 months.
Could work.
Yeah.
All right. Only other interesting story this week, really, because there were a couple I was like, that's dumb. I don't want to talk about that. It's not worth it. But I just thought this was cool, and this is just reader service, listener service here. As a big Halo fan, we love it. Multiplayer especially is fantastic. Halo is now allowing you, by Halo I mean 343, allowing you to do get a 3D printed version, a real life figure of your Spartan from multiplayer.
Start buying rec packs. Got to get that cool stuff.
you do need to unlock some stuff.
Got to get some
better,
cool new poses.
better parts. So yeah, there's a small, just a little 4-inch tall figurine for $30, a 5-incher for $50, or a big 6-incher for $90.
$90 per
That's a lot.
6-inch figure is a
That
big
is a
ask.
lot. I would like, yes. And what's 6 inches like? That?
Are they
something like that?
So they're 3D printed. So they're sculpted really nice. Are they painted?
Gosh, I would hope so. If
I don't know,
They're not
like,
just
are they-
gray.
I didn't know about this until we came on the podcast.
I mean, like
so.
really high end 3D printers will let you do the color thing. It takes so long to do and a lot
Yeah.
of material, and that's why it's
Well,
so
for,
it's
expensive.
for
$3
$90,
Yeah.
it'd better.
So like if it's like, oh, I got like a blue guy or like a white model that I could paint, like that's less.
It's
time.
probably gray. They probably paint it gray, if anything.
That'd be a bummer.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to check out the article.
I did. I didn't say anything
Let's
about
just
that.
let's
Yeah.
just do this and expense it.
We can.
We should.
We can do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess I got to play Halo 5 during work hours
Yeah.
to get some
Ah,
better
shucks.
armor unlocks.
Yeah.
Then
Oh no.
they're bringing that Mark IV Mjolnir armor.
This
Yeah,
is pretty
gotta
cool.
earn it.
Oh, so good.
This is
Just
pretty
gotta-
cool. I wish they'd do it for like Destiny. That'd be kind of neat to put your
well,
Guardian out there.
Yeah, Bungie. They should. Well, I'll tell you who Bungie can call is our old friend Ed Fries,
Yeah.
former head of Microsoft Game Studios back in the original Xbox days. The man who bought Bungie for Microsoft. Because
Goodbye.
this story reminded me of this 3D printed Spartan thing. I remember doing a story at OXM years ago. Ed Fries started a little company called Figure Prints that
Wow.
did. He partnered with Microsoft, and you could get a 3D printed figurine of your Xbox avatar, which I always wanted to
right,
do but
yeah.
never did. And so I went to his site today, and I guess I don't know his arrangement with Microsoft is over, or whatever. But you can't get those anymore.
Nuts.
He's offering. But what he does have, the figure prints, is still actually kind of cool. You can get your World of Warcraft character,
That's pretty
which
cool.
is pretty. I mean, if you've
That's great.
invested hundreds of hours into your WoW character, that's
Final
pretty great.
Fantasy would be another good game.
And then the other thing I would be very curious to see this. He's partnered up with Mojang and I guess technically Microsoft you can order a 3D print of a Minecraft area that you made.
Nice.
Oh, of an area?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like a whole
That's really
layout.
cool.
It's probably like a 10 by 10 or whatever, like some
Something like that.
amount.
Yeah,
That's really
so
small.
if you are curious about either of those, check out Ed Fries. It is Ed Fries's baby, but yeah, that's cool. And this Spartan thing is a limited time deal. So if you're curious, head on over to the official Halo site for more details on that. Mitch Dyer,
Yes, sir.
what can we spend our hard-earned coin on?
Speaking of Minecraft,
Yeah, Minecraft Story Mode Episode 3 is $5 out this week. There's nothing at retail, so that's your big digital thing of the week.
man, those games are coming out real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, there's
It
still lots
figures
to
they
come,
do this
too.
right after, like, literally, as these started to come out, I swore off. I said, I love Telltale games, but I'm not playing them until the seasons are done anymore because I'm
Here you
sick
go,
of
Ryan. Here
waiting
you go,
so
Ryan.
much.
Here you go, Ryan.
Okay, okay, here you go.
Which is good because now we'll probably get to finish it in January.
Yeah.
On the marketplace, for free, you get Big Team Battle for Halo 5. Ryan,
It's
you played
so
some with
good.
Finnegan this
yeah,
week.
we got videos up on IGN and YouTube. The 4 maps are spectacular. I mean, they're all well. In the case of there's a Headlong remake. It is a straight remake, tweaked only to accommodate the changed physics and jumping characteristics and whatnot for Halo 5. But there's one that's a Headlong remake, and then the 3 other maps are all inspired by classic big team battle Halo maps.
Nice.
So there's a Longbow from Halo 4,
Perfect.
Standoff from Halo 3, and Valhalla from Halo 3. And we played them all. They're all super fun. It is great to have big team battle back in Halo 5, and it cost you absolutely nothing.
Perfect.
$0.
November's games with gold include Numa Breath of Life on
Because exactly what everybody needed Halo 5's multiplayer to get better. It really needed that.
really lacking in great quality content. Numa Breath of Life is free for all gold subscribers all month long. Night Squad is available until December 15th on Xbox One. I looked that up. The art's kind of cool.
Nice.
I don't know that that's something I'll play, but it's like a cool little
It's free.
pixely Bomberman
You
thing.
got no reason not to.
Yeah. Dungeon Siege 3 is available until November 30th for Xbox 360. And now we have December's games with gold, and I realize we stopped predicting these. So we got to get back on that.
We got to get back on the horse here.
The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing and Thief will be available on Xbox One from December 16th until...
Van Helsing's all month.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, my
cool.
bad. I could have written that a
I
little
see.
more clearly.
And then Thief is available from December 16th till January 15th.
That's a good freebie.
Yeah.
It is. I didn't love the Thief reboot, but it's
Worth it
it's
for
not
free.
a bad game by
Yeah.
any stretch. It's
I
really
think
tough
this-
to stand
I
up to the
personally think
others.
this is kind of a bummer.
Thief?
Yeah, I think this lineup for December is kind of a bummer. I think
Yeah, I'm
that-
not gonna
I
play
think a
either
lot
of
of
those
people are
games.
going to get new consoles maybe in
Yeah.
December, and
Yeah.
if they get Xbox Live Gold, it'd have been cool if you gave them something real nice, like
You're
like Rise
Tomb Raider.
or
Bring
like,
back Tomb Raider.
Yeah, the
Rise.
original-
I would
yeah,
love
something
that.
like one of those first years, Dead Rising 3,
Yeah, like a launch game you might have missed.
a pretty solid launch game. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
beggars can't be choosers.
I uninstalled it so long ago, I forgot that I actually owned Dead Rising 2.
yeah.
Dead Rising 3
Yeah.
would be a great
Yeah.
choice, actually.
On Xbox 360, we got Triple Threat, Castle Storm, which is a super fun game from the guys who brought us Pinball FX. December 1st to December 15th, that's free. After that, Sacred 3 from December 16th till December 31st. And then a bonus one in the second half of the month, again, 16th to 31st of December, is Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising.
That's underrated right there.
Seriously.
Operation Flashpoint is one of the last. It's a one-shot, one-kill, open sandbox military shooter.
Which is great when you're half an hour into a mission and a sniper is like, I'm gonna get that player, and you're just
Start
like,
over.
I'm crippled because I got shot in the hip and I can't walk.
Yeah. But it's very much in the vein of old school Ghost Recon
Big
and
time.
Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Well, Ghost Recon's the better analogy because it's outdoors.
It's very, very hardcore, and it's you don't play it to have like a great shooter experience. You play it for like a really great, really tense
Tactical.
open world tactical
Yes.
combat
Cool.
Yeah,
thing.
this was a solid game.
Really enjoyed
Back
that.
when Codemasters made video games, because I
Yeah.
don't know what they do now.
They just
it's
keep
not,
making
they've
dirt
mastered code.
games.
It's not
and-
making video
They
games.
port old video games.
Good stuff. Is that it?
Actually,
That
that's Code
is
Mystics.
it, right? Nothing I
Groovy.
missed.
I think you're good.
All right.
Come right back, do a little trivia. I was calculating, I think we only have like 3, maybe 4 shows left in the quest for the
Got
Dookie
it.
Trophy.
I
So
will
take
only
it
be
now.
here for 2.
we'll go over
All right.
this. We'll go over the scoring situation in just a second.
I'm
right
gonna
after.
call in for any show that I can. Make.
You totally can do
Okay.
that. We can do that. All
You
right.
could also just. Yeah.
Thanks, Marty.
We'll be back right after this. All right. We're talking about Tim Burton off the
I
air.
love how it comes back. It's like, God, Edward Scissorhands and
Beetlejuice.
What the hell
What
did I
could
just
we be
miss?
talking about?
You missed a lot. The guys were wondering why Tim Burton was chosen to direct Batman in 1989.
Well, we know why. He had made a lot of great films.
No, he'd only made Pee-wee before that.
Is
I
that
don't
true?
think that's correct.
Was
Pee-wee was-
Beetlejuice right after or right before
I
Batman?
think Beetlejuice was
I
after.
think it was before.
Yeah, but he definitely didn't make Edward Scissorhands yet, or what was
Really?
the other one you mentioned? He hadn't made.
Are you sure?
He hadn't made 2014's Big Eyes yet, because that came out in 2014.
I
Willy
saw,
Wonka?
Dude, I saw Catching Fire. One of the
Whoever
new Hunger Games
danced with the
called.
devil
Yeah.
by the pale
Oh,
moonlight.
the new one?
Yeah, it's not Mockingjay, and in front of Mockingjay, I saw a trailer for the new Alice. Movie looks horrendous.
Yeah, it was a real
Just
nothing.
like that movie looks 10 years old. It's crazy. The CG is just awful. Like the art, awful.
You know what
How
else?
was the new Mockingjay? Do you like thumbs
I
up,
liked
thumbs
it.
down?
Yeah, I liked it. Thumbs
yeah,
up.
I read the book, so I don't know if I
Act
want
3 falls kind of flat, but man, Acts 1 and 2.
All right.
You know what else
cool.
has
Real good.
badly aged CG in it? I hadn't watched any Star Wars in a long, long time, like years.
Oh, God.
And so after Disneyland, my kid became aware of Star Wars and was like, "This seems interesting."
Perfect.
So I just bought the digital version of
Oh yeah,
the first of New Hope off Amazon.
that weird Jabba.
So we were watching it.
Oh,
It was, her,
God.
her first time seeing it, my first time watching Star Wars in years, and it's like the Lucas fixed it version.
Yep, with the weird
with,
back
like-
in the sand and then cutting the Mos
hate
Eisley.
those.
It's
Yeah.
the CG is not aged well
What
in
was
that
it,
at all.
97?
99.
Why
Something
did he
like that.
do
99
that?
was Phantom Menace.
It was
like
that.
he made the door look bigger. It's like, come on. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
original vision.
Yeah. Come on.
There's a lot of stuff in that I'm like not offended by at all, but I totally understand why people are
It
like,
just
yep, that
aged
super
like crap.
distractingly looks bad.
anyway.
I think something that has aged well is the third Gears of War title.
Boom.
Boom.
Not as well as the
actually-
second one, though.
What?
I'm still the only person who says that.
Are you nuts?
I still say the second Gears of War
Marty's
is
a big
the
fan of
best
worms.
Gears.
You are mental.
I like worms.
What?
Yeah, it's still my favorite.
Oh, you're fired. Get off the show.
But I have a good musical cue coming up. I'm going to get us
man.
a YouTube hit.
So,
Strike. Strike.
Unlock Block Trivia. We've only got a few left in the year
my
before we have to award the
God.
trophy. Because we're going to do that before the holidays. And Mitch and Destin are tied.
How many points? each?
18 up.
All right.
Marty, 13, mathematically eliminated.
Yeah, but I have 14 after today.
I like the confidence.
Yeah.
I like the confidence.
I better be right because I have a song queued up and everything.
So this is,
If you're wrong, you queue up the wrong thing.
our winner this week is Munib Ghani. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I sincerely apologize. He sent in an excellent question that actually stumped me. I didn't know this. Which rapper was originally going to be the voice of Jace from Gears of War 3? Did verify that he was correct on this. Was it Big Sean, Drake, Kanye, or Ice Cube? So Marty seems to definitely know this, but everyone has chosen their answer, correct?
Destin, you were a little paranoid. I was going to steal some answers from you.
Mitch,
feeling
you've
good?
chosen?
I'm circle. I circle
Okay.
my
Yeah.
answer.
We're all circled
All
up.
right, so I'm going to go to, since Marty seems to extremely confident,
Very confident.
which is rare for him,
Very rare.
I'm going to go to Destin first.
All right. Well, I noted it down. I figured it was Drake or Kanye. I really didn't know the answer. Kanye's a really busy guy. Marty made me feel more confident when he said scheduling conflict, which I wish Mitch had not heard before selecting his answer. But anyway, I went with Kanye 3 or C.
Kanye just seems like too high profile for Gears. Like,
Originally, I
he's
went
too
Big
busy.
Sean, but I don't know who that is.
That's kind of why I almost picked Big Sean.
Yeah.
Drake, I feel like wasn't a thing back then. Like, certainly not famous like he is
like
now.
he would have had time to do VO.
Right.
Yeah.
He was still at the bottom.
He was on Degrassi. He's the
but-
only one of these
but
four
he
who's an
wasn't-
actual actor. I guess Ice Cube's
He
an
wasn't
actor,
like
too.
hip hop star Drake like the rest of these dudes. I selected Ice Cube specifically because that dude's
Okay.
a very busy performer.
Yeah, he does
He's
a lot of
involved in some
acting.
stuff.
He's in Law and Order.
He's friends with Kevin Hart.
I can't
Yeah.
remember if he's already in Gears. I can't remember if he ended up playing another role or if that was another
Yeah, he-
rapper.
I know where you're going with this, and we'll talk when you're done. But
maybe
He
Ice-T.
plays Maria.
Maria. He plays Razor Hell.
Marty's confidence makes me wonder if it's Kanye, but that just seems insane to me. So I'm going Ice Cube.
Circle Ice Cube.
Marty, tell them if they're right or wrong.
I don't know who this is.
That's Drake.
Oh, okay.
We got our copyright strike. Sorry, I can't shut it up.
Drake was that big?
Yeah, it was Drake.
Drake is correct. Marty is correct.
How many records did he put out by then?
One.
Wow, and they were like, let's get that
So far
guy
gone.
for.
He was an actor. He was on Degrassi for numerous seasons. He was a kid in a wheelchair
Well,
named
nobody
Jimmy.
in America knows who Degrassi
You're
is.
Canadian, Mitch. Rod Ferguson's Canadian.
Touche.
Great job, Marty
Looking
Sleva.
forward to Jace being or Drake being Jason Gears 4.
The race
Finally.
Titans. We're gonna pretend you're not mathematically eliminated for the year, but the
All that matters is that Destin
18.
is not ahead of me.
to 18. So
still
it will
tied.
come down to those last couple shows. By the way, great job by Munib on that. That's a fantastic question.
Yeah.
I love that one.
What if the last week of the last episode is just 30 questions?
I can make up the rules as I go. I mean, I can do whatever I want. So I mean,
Destin
it's-
was late today, so we decided that dox him 1 point. So I'm 18.
What?
Destin
I
is
wasn't
17.
late. I set up
Oh,
the
for a second,
camera.
I thought you said we decided to dox him. I'm like, geez.
Whoa!
How are you
Good
guys
lord.
going to record before I got here? Because nothing was ready.
Not well. We weren't going to record well.
Just, pantomime it for each and every viewer. All right. If you want to win a prize, I've actually, thanks to the generosity of a lot of you, a whole bunch of people sent in Gears of War 1, 2, 3, and Judgment 360 codes that are, of course, compatible on Xbox One. I guess those must have gone out en masse.
I didn't get any. Can I have one of those judgment codes?
You
Where
don't
can you
own
send
the-
your- where can you send your
own the
question?
disc, Mitch.
I can't find it.
Do you have the HD collection?
Yeah.
Then you get the codes.
Never
They,
got
they
the
send
codes.
them to you.
No,
Check your messages.
I did. Right before we got in here.
We know people that can, like,
If
you
only
have-
you were friends with.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if only I
anyway,
had some sort of hookup.
So
yeah.
thanks to so many of you for sending in Gears codes. So I think the prize for at least the next several weeks might be some Gears of War copies.
Solid.
Maybe you don't own them all because I think I've got copies now of all of them.
Yeah.
Again, they're 360 games, but they are compatible with your Xbox One. So either Xbox system that you may have, they'll be fine for. Send your Xbox-related trivia question. Include 4 multiple-choice answers, and please note the correct one in your email. Send all that where, Mitch?
Unlocked at IGN.com.
Brilliant. Let's hit the road. Get out of here. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. If you're American, if not, happy Thursday.
Woo.
Yeah.
Mitch Dyer.
Yeah, man.
What are you doing, and where can we find you? And we won't see you next week.
No, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to go see some Canadians. So I'll be gone next week. Missing out on trip. I'm going to call in next week. I'm calling in. I'll make a long-distance phone call if it means Destin's destruction. Go read my Star Wars Battlefront review. That's the thing I worked on most recently. Working on some stuff that's sort of farther out for the holiday timeline-ish. So
Yeah.
more on that soon. That's me. I'm Mitchy D on Twitter.
Marty Sleva.
I'm at McBiggity. I'm doing a lot of planning for PSX, which is in San Francisco in a week and a half or so.
Not a lot of Xbox things going
Not
on.
a lot of Xbox things, but there are some third-party things, a lot of indies that are going to also appear on Xbox. So if you're in the city for that, we'll be all around doing things. So say hi to us if you see
Awesome.
us. And if you're not, check out the site because there's going to be cool indies and some big third-party games that will also be appearing on Xbox.
Destin.
At Destin Legary on Twitter, and I'm doing a bunch of Fallout mod stuff, so check that out this Thursday.
Yeah, I saw you had dragged your PC to a slideshow with about 6,000 creatures on screen with whatever you were doing over there earlier.
Yeah, so we did an IGN play. We did it live. That was actually a breakout. We had one behemoth versus 500 Deathclaws.
Jeez.
So it just like filled up our arena. It was really dumb but really fun.
That's the
That's
worst
great.
and
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, I love that.
Awesome. You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. There is a link in my profile to some t-shirts that maybe you might like to purchase for you or someone you love for the now upon us holiday season. And that would really be awesome for me and for you and for the recipient. So, everybody wins.
Win, win, win.
I am going to be. I'm shooting actually 2 episodes of IGN Unfiltered. It is still going. We had a little schedule snafu for the November episode, so that's going to actually air later. So I'll have one in December coming up fairly soon, and then the next one in January.
Who are they with? Can you tell us?
No, I'm going to wait. I want to
Okay.
wait till they're here and done before
it.
I promise anything, because you never know what can change with schedules at the last minute. I will say something that is definitely happening that's relevant to everybody's interests is I'm reviewing Rainbow Six Siege. So if you're curious to hear how that has turned out,
Do we have copies on it?
I will have a.
I gotta bug you about that later. yeah.
I've got a review in progress hitting with that on Monday. So right after your holiday is over. At 3 a.m., please, for the love of God, don't wake up. Just don't.
It'll still be there at
It'll
7,
still
at
be
8,
there.
at 9.
Just whenever you happen to get your day started, it'll be there for you. It's a review in progress for 2 reasons. One is the usual reason, which is it's an
Servers.
online only game, virtually online only. That so we need to play it on the real world servers before we drop a score on it, and then also. I just actually haven't had a lot of time with it yet, the way they've structured it. I went to a review day where I could play it I played it for 8 hours, but everything was unlocked. So it was just like, just play it, here's everything.
Here's what
so
it's
you
like
can
with no
see it all.
progression, yeah.
So yeah, I haven't seen the progression yet, and that's obviously
Yeah.
going to be a very, very important part of that game.
really concerns me.
I mean,
We'll. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm taking it for what it is.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens. But I will have full gameplay. I mean, it'll be most of a review. You
Yeah.
know, most of I've played
As usual, as
Yeah.
these things usually are.
So check that out on Monday. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, IGN Prime is, of course, the place where you can go to give us $30 in exchange for you getting an ad-free experience on IGN.com
For a
and
year?
our videos for the duration of 1 year. Go to IGN.com/Prime for that. And also just want to thank all of you IGN supporters of ours for making the Vault IGN Fallout podcast the #1 podcast on all of games and hobbies, not even video games,
Yeah.
like the whole Suck It Car Talk.
Yeah, for real.
Boom! Got served. So appreciate everybody's support with that. And we're done.
we did it.
Cool.
Thanks, guys. Happy
you all.
Thanksgiving if you're celebrating. If you're not, we love you anyway. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, Drake.
Bye, everybody.